Welcome back. This is Maurice Dimba, and this is a continuation on how or on the development on the canvas steel frame. Now, this is where we left on the last step, and we are going further to develop it further. Now, I'm going to select this member, and all this will be supported with these steel beams you're seeing here. One will be there, one will be connected to that, one will be connected to that, one will be connected to that. Now, I'll come to Control R, press Control R, and select my rotation point, and I'll left and hold my button on the mouse and rotate that. Now, I want to hold or I want to copy this steel member to this, but I'm lacking the exact position where I will be holding it from or holding it by. So I'll come to edit, then come to point. I'll come to at any position right there, then I'll snap on that spot, then snap at the edge there. Then once I've snapped on that edge, I'll come to point here, then pick on online option. Then I want to get the midpoint of this particular back end of this particular steel. So I'll snap on that spot, then mouse over in any part of this, and this will snap on a right angle position because this is active. This snap is active snap at perpendicular point. So this will be perpendicular, and we'll get a midpoint right there. So I'll close this. So once I've selected that, I'll be able to select this member, right click and come to copy, and I'll pick it from that point. Then I'll snap right at the middle of that member and snap at the middle of that member. This will be supported or will be held by this. But how the connection, I'll show you as we move step by step on detailing how this will be supported there. So I'll snap right in the middle there and snap right at the middle here, then go all the way to this far end here. So that one has been placed right there. So if I come and press Control R, or you can come to View, then navigate with the mouse and pick your rotation point, and left click and hold your mouse, and you'll be able to rotate that like that. So you can see we have members in place. So if I zoom close, you'll be able to see there's some slight collision, so that should not worry you. I'll show you how we can work with that. So that you can see it's not in line with this one because our target point was the edge of this. So what I'm going to do, if I zoom close, I'll be able to work our way out of that. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to rearrange or reorganize or place everything in the best position possible. So let me come to navigate and turn that round. So a reason why we want to reorganize this is because this member sits right on top of this member, and this is slightly off, which means the frame is slightly inside the edge of this particular member. So the thing we want to do now is to check the offset or the difference. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to press Ctrl R, then come here and rotate that and check the distance from here. I'll come to edit and come to measure and pick on the distance there. So I'll just snap right at the edge here, and if you can't snap right at the edge there, we'll find a way on how we can get that offset distance. We can just turn that round and turn it round like that, and bring that close and come back to measure, pick on the distance. So I want to measure the offset distance. So that will be 25 millimeter for that to be at the edge there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select everything there, press Ctrl R, and we are going to select everything here. I click and select everything right there. We deselect the grid line and we select the bottom end steel here, and we want to move it away by 25 millimeter. Right click and come to special move, and on the x-axis here we want to just type 25 millimeter and click move. So you will notice one thing, we've also included the internal members, so we have to isolate this. You have to deselect the middle members, the internal members. So what you're going to offset is only the outer frame. So the outer frame will be moved forward by 25 millimeter. So on the x-axis, as you can see, it's pointing on that direction. So we'll offset it in that direction by 25 millimeter. So we'll just click move. So if you click OK and come back here and check, we have that in line. So if I press Ctrl R and turn that round, and you can see it is actually flashing. And if I come at the bottom end here, you'll also see everything is in exact position. So the detailing on how this connection will be done, I'll show you in step by step on how we can do the connection here. For now, just to arrangement of the steel, how our steel will be, will define the arrangement of the frame that will be holding the canvas. So we've placed the vertical and internal members. So we want to place the horizontal supporting members. So using the top one, I'll select on that, then right click and come to special copy, and you want to copy downward by 1500. Just type 1500, but this time around we have to prefix that distance by a negative sign because we are moving on the opposite direction of our z-axis. So I'll just go ahead and click copy and click OK. So prior to creating others, we have to make sure that these steel members, it is laying in appropriate position that will help or will enable the connection or bolting be easier. So as it is now, it won't be easy at all because it is inside or it's clashing with other steel members. So this, I want just one member or one steel to run all the way to the other end and bolted to these internal members and the external frame of this particular frame of the canvas. So what I'm going to do, I'm just double click on it here and use these options, three options here on the positions. On each has other three options where you can rearrange or define the placement of the steel. So as it is now, I'm going to use the rotation option here and I'll click back. So if I turn it back like it is now, and I want the top end to be facing the back, but still it is okay because I'll finally change the steel size because this should be smaller. And once I've changed that, then first of all, just change that for now. I'll click on that redo button and come to 50s and click on plus sign, and I want to use 50 by 50 by 4 and click apply and give it an OK and click modify. So once I've done so, what I'm going to do now is just to bring it forward at the back end of this particular member, but it should be right in the middle here because this defines our 1.5 meters. So I'll come to plane. This is in the middle. So I'll come to on plane. I'll give it left position, and that shows that it will be slightly off the target, and we'll give it right and give it OK. So that is the best position, but we'll use this. Give it front up, and that give it in the wrong position. So if we come here and maybe choose middle, and that takes it back once again, and give it left, that take it further, and if you give it right, and this will bring it closer. And what we are going to do, we are going to check the distance from here to here. This is how much. So we are going to apply this. We are going to feed that offset distance here. So once you work all these options and it's not lying lying right at the back here, we can use the offset the remaining distance and feed in here. So let's first of all check the offset distance from this edge to that edge, that is 25 millimeter. So I'll double click on that, then come to the right here and just type 25 millimeter. And if I click on that, you'll be able to see it has moved right at the back here by 25 millimeter. So all the way to that end here, that is 25 millimeter. So we can go ahead and copy this to the bottom end, and by using the option copy, and we'll come at the bottom end there by end clicking 25 millimeter. And in here again, we'll just type 1, but we'll change this to 3 meters. To 3 meters. There we go, and click on that. So I'll click interrupt and change that. Right click and turn that round. So we have our supporting frame in place. So that's how we've step 1 on how we can support or create supports for the internal members and the entire frame of the canvas. So let's meet on the next step, and as we further create more support members for this particular frame for advertising a billboard. Let's meet then. Bye bye. This is Morris Diba, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and let's meet then.